It is June 13th, 2025, and I just want to talk about this whole garden here. I made a video ages ago that I never bothered to upload because it was really boring to watch. And even this is not that interesting because we haven't really got to the point yet, but I wanted to talk about this as a model for converting a bare sort of meadow space. Oh, hi Dudley. Hi buddy. Oh, you gonna catch it? Yeah! Alright, he's a good boy. Okay, so basically I was going to grow some potatoes here, but I ended up having some concerns about the state of the soil. That's not really important. Basically, I made this little fence primarily out of things that were dead or invasive species like European buckthorn. It doesn't do much to keep anything out besides Dudley, but it frames the garden nicely. And my thinking was to just plant a bunch of nectar producing plants to have like a butterfly garden, and at the same time implement some native species. So I did end up putting in anise hyssop here, and I think somewhere in here I've got cup plant growing. But for the most part, it's just a fun garden full of a lot of either marginally native or non-native species. So we got all this Phacelia that's just about to flower, and a lot of sweet alyssum has come up, some random mustards, because this soil, it came from one of my chicken runs, and consequently there was like a lot of millet in there and stuff. So I let that go. I just decided this is going to be a fun garden, bit of an experiment, and threw down some pollinator mix and some other stuff. And here, for example, this goldenrod just pushed through the soil because I didn't sheet mulch or anything. I just put the soil down and then sowed it in the early spring. So goldenrod came back strong, and I said yes to goldenrod, which is probably one of the more ecologically significant plants in this area. But you know, we got Gadisha, I think that's how you say that, and California poppies and cornflowers and a little bit of Rudbeckia there, stuff like that. Nothing too serious, just a fun place to hang out. And yeah, the idea is to do this every spring, make one of these, and then in the fall or the following spring plant it out to at least principally native perennials. Maybe there'll be some food production elements, but I'm not exactly decided on that yet. I was thinking maybe like American plum or something, maybe hazelnuts, because we're backing up on a very nice forest here that's predominantly bitternut hickory and shagbark hickory. And to that end, I'm happy to take volunteers from the hickory clan. Maybe I might try and get some black walnuts growing up here. But yeah, I just wanted to document it so that when it's in bloom, it's more of a, there's more sort of context as to how this happened. And yeah, it still needs some weeding. There's lamb's quarters in there. There's smartweed. I'm on the fence about Ginny Creeper, but there are some random tomatoes showing up, so that's kind of fun. But this area has been browsed pretty heavily by rabbits, because of course this is the area that backs up onto the forest. Come over here in the evening and you can see the little rabbits scurrying out of the garden back into the forest. And you know, they're not the smartest, the baby rabbits. They eat all kinds of things they probably shouldn't. But yeah, it would have been nice if they hadn't eaten all my borage and cerinthe, but we'll see if any of it survived in the jungle over there. And you still got some sunflowers somehow, and black nightshade and things like that I'm not totally against keeping. So yeah, I did a little bit of weird landscaping in the middle here. I made these sort of perches, imagining maybe hummingbirds might hang out on those. And this pile of logs is a little bit of habitat for beetles and ants and that. Put this weird wall here, I don't really know what I was thinking. A little stump. I think I might put a little dish on that as a sort of like a bud water or bud bath or whatever it ends up being, however they want to use it. But yeah, we had this big pine tree come down in an ice storm, so I've ended up cutting it into carryable chunks and putting them around the garden because I think they add a little something. I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Not much activity yet outside of ants, but it's still something I really enjoy visiting every day and nurturing, and looking forward to the big payoff when all the nectar comes through. And of course the plants that were already here in the meadow that I've let grow up around the edges are doing very well compared to how they'd usually be doing. Like, we've got self-heal, and we've got chickweed and oxeye daisies and hawkweed, which is, you know, what are you gonna do? It's all right. They're pretty cute to look at anyway. Some kind of buttercup. And this is my happy place. And that's all I have to say. Farewell.